Hello, welcome back. I'm Laura Nicola. I'm your faithful therapist. Today's video is going to be talking about reasons to find a faith-based therapist if you are yourself faith-based. So thanks for tuning in, and I have just 3 quick reasons why I think this would be helpful. So I'm personally biased. Most people that I work with are of faith and they seek me out because I am faith-based. But I think in general, when kind of looking for a therapist, it can become pretty overwhelming and daunting to just go out into the world and try to find somebody that you'll connect to. So using faith, the faith that you have, to narrow down that search, I think is really helpful because the following 3 reasons. So the first reason is that that the therapist that you're working with has a similar set of morals and values. So when people come in to work with me, I talk about how the foundation of the work is Catholic based. So that means that I wouldn't suggest anything going against the Catholic Church's teachings, but I'm also, of course, welcoming to the person that's sitting across the room from me. So it's nice that people know, that I'm not gonna, the first thing I hear about, if with an issue is that I'm going to suggest something against the church's teachings. So it's not going to be my priority to, suggest that somebody gets a divorce. Or if somebody's struggling, intimately in their relationship, I'm not going to suggest masturbation or pornography. Or, somebody is struggling with same-sex attraction. That's not going to be something that I'm just, hooray for them. Now, to be very clear, I'm also not in a role to be judgmental. So my job is not to condone somebody for their sins. I'm a sinner as well, obviously. I'm not a priest, so this isn't confession, nor am I God. So it's really not my point or my job to judge. So it's kind of a nice balance of people knowing that first and foremost, they have the same values as me, and also that I'm not going to be judgmental towards them because that's not what therapy is for. So that's kind of step number 1, is just that we share the same morals and values. Second point is that there's also just a shared knowledge about the faith. So this one is pretty much just practical. I've had clients that have gone to secular therapists and then they come to see me and they were like, I was just so misunderstood. The person I was talking to didn't really know about the faith. They didn't know about some intricacies about the faith. And so I felt like I had to explain that. And it's kind of nice going to somebody that I know, understands what I mean when I say Catholic guilt, or understands what I mean when I say, I struggle with scrupulosity, going to confession, or, I feel understood when I talk about, prayer, or the afterlife, believing in heaven and purgatory, things like that. I had one guy come to me and he said that he was talking with a secular therapist and he was talking about this voice inside of his head that he was trying to listen to when making a decision. And all of a sudden he started getting assessed for psychosis and he was like, this doesn't feel right. So he's telling me this story. And I just kind of had to laugh because, he went on to describe how he was listening in prayer to the Holy Spirit kind of guide him in making that decision. So again, just kind of a shared knowledge base is just really helpful for feeling more understood by your therapist. So that's, reason number 2. Third reason is the ability to use faith as a coping skill. So there's actually a lot of research that shows that using faith when struggling with mental health is actually it provides more healing than without faith. And so faith is a coping skill. So if you have a therapist that is of the same faith as you, they can suggest things that align with your faith that can be used as coping. So for example, I suggest, certain prayers. I suggest novenas. I suggest doing mindfulness exercises in the Adoration Chapel. I suggest going to confession. I suggest, seeking out a spiritual director. Those types of things that, the person can relate to because it is part of their faith, but it also can be used as a way to cope with mental health issues. So it's just, having that ability to kind of talk about that is, I think, really nice. So those are 3 things. So in summary, if you're looking for a therapist and you don't quite know how to narrow down the search, I would start with faith. Again, I'm 100% biased, but I really do think that it's helpful connecting with your therapist on that level. So hopefully you find it helpful too. As always, leave me comments, leave me thoughts, let me know, if that's been helpful for you, if connecting with somebody else has been more helpful, I would love to know. So yeah, as always, thank you for joining me. Be sure to subscribe below for more videos to come. Also, feel free to, find me on Instagram. I also post almost daily there, different tips and tricks and techniques and insights into integrating mental health and faith. So follow me here, follow me on Instagram, and just thank you for tuning in. I appreciate you, and many blessings.